Well, let me tell you this. A guy came to me maybe about 3 years ago. He said, Mr. Powell, you know, I love your work. He said, well, I'm gonna tell you right now, you'd be a lot bigger if you were bisexual. And I said, well, I've gotten as big as I have.
I'm just telling you how Hollywood go. I've been saying it for years. Y'all ain't never got to listen to me. But I'm saying, if you really want some real action out here. Yeah. I was talking to Eddie Griffin. It felt good to hear it because I know he wasn't lying.
What is it?
Eddie Griffin, right when he was getting hot, getting movies, a powerful Hollywood executive, I ain't gonna say his name.
Let me send you this picture.
Eddie Griffin said he called him in the room and he said, how big a star you wanna be? And he opened his legs and had his thing out.
Wow.
Eddie Griffin said, that's when I knew it was time for me to leave Hollywood.
Wow.
In 2016, while at a party with my wife, I was assaulted by a successful Hollywood agent. The assault lasted only minutes, but what he was effectively telling me while he held my genitals in his hand was that he held the power.
And that was for a movie?
That was the man. Ask him how big a star you want to be. Let me tell you something, man. It's some people out here who can turn you into the face of black people. But do that shock you?
See, back then.
Hell yeah, that shocked me when you hear Will Smith and them getting 20 million a film and like that. Like,
Man.
come on,
But not
man.
their first ones. Not their first. See, that's what I'm saying.
Will
see?
Smith, them man, they asshole look like
And
them
he opened
baby
the
birds
floodgates.
when it's getting fed.
Oh, God. And that opened the floodgates. Remember, not a lot of no.
I'm gonna have to explain to Elizabeth about the money and calm her. She gets so nervous. Hey, Paul, come on, stop that.
I was wondering if I could you.
Man, I don't do things like that.
I made it to the middle. The top is another whole set of stuff that you got to deal with on every level that I'm not willing to do. So, and they don't let strong Kunta Kinte like me get to the top. It just doesn't happen without some compromise. And I'm not willing to do that, but I never knew that.
You can say what you want. I don't believe Eddie Griffin out there getting down like them people getting down, because them people getting down, they doing all kinds of wonderful things.
Why do you think Dave Chappelle left the Chappelle Show?
Nobody would know better than Dave, so I'd break it down this simple, because I had those feelings when I was on the Malcolm and Eddie show. When they're asking you to do that doesn't agree with your nature, is the money worth that indignity? I think the brother made the proper decision.
I know when I interviewed Fredjo Starr, he told me that he turned down the role in The Wire because they wanted him to kiss him in.
I got a audition maybe a year ago from Mr. Black. I don't think he read the script. So I read the script and I called him. I said, this guy that's the gangster, he has this guy named Raphael or somebody hanging around the bar all the time. I said, who is that guy? So he called Cass and he said, well, they kind of like lovers. I'm like, that's not gonna work out. I'm not homophobic. I've gotten a lot of flack for saying something in the heat of the moment. I'm not homophobic, but I have no problems with transgender people or gay people. I don't care what color they are. I have no problems with, I'm not sexist or racist or any of that. But I have boundaries for me as a person. But I've been set up, I've been approached, I've been, I don't want to say persuaded, but gestures have been made, and I'm not gonna get into the details and name any names, but it's been men and women, not a lot, but a few.
At this point, it's laughable that folks still doubt that Hollywood not only has a casting couch for the ladies, but oh yes, a casting couch for the men. And a lot of these fellas that are superstars, they had to do something a little flexible, a little greasy, to grease the wheels to make sure that they could keep that cash register ringing and them dollars and those roles coming in. You see Mr. Powell here, he is an established actor. He's been in many, many roles. Didn't turn down a lot, but didn't get a lot. And as he describes it, he made it comfortably to the middle because he can only go so far without going so far. So the question you got to ask yourself is that for these mega superstars, how far were they willing to go? What were they willing to do? What were they willing to sacrifice? Who were they willing to accommodate in order to get to where they got? Damn.
You don't get it without kissing the ring, if you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Y'all ain't gotta believe me, but I'm telling you, all you motherfuckers out here who just got off a Greyhound bus trying to be a star, you can go directly to the man and make it a lot sooner if you gon' crack that ass open. That way you can be in the community with them mother. They'll be like, oh, he's an ass opener. He's okay. Let him in. Did you have fun last night? You know what I'm saying? That's how it go. All you mother who really think that you finna get stardom as a square, as a average Joe, even if you got talent has nothing to do with making it in the big time. Watch television and you'll see I confirm that.
So the bottom line is this: your talent's only going to take you so far. It's not exactly what you know, it's who you know. And the devil in the blue dress, she's sitting right there, standing side by side, straddling that demon, and that demon's going to look you dead in the face and tell you one thing.
Trust me.
When you're about to sign on that dotted line, your soul entwined. But don't trust him. Don't trust anything that he says, because one thing is for sure, whether you want to believe it or not, your soul in the form of your dignity can be bottled and sold. And a lot of folks have done this for silver and gold. You dig?
Everything went wrong. It's like everything went right. Everything went wrong when I put on that dress. Pre-Big Mamas, to me, actually, it's like you have an AD, you're like AD, BC. Okay. It's like BM for me. My career pre-BM.
So Big Mama was a changing point.
Yeah.
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 What made it a changing point? Was it that it was Martin, or just everything was aligning up at the right time for you?
It was a negative changing point, to be honest.
What you mean by the producers came at you sideways?
I've had producers say certain things or do certain things, male and female. But I know how to handle it because I know what I'm gonna do. I always tell people when you get to Hollywood, know what you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not desperate to be famous.
Greetings, you polite savages, and welcome to another Tip Talk.
You don't make up for your sins in the church. You do it in the streets. You do it at home. The rest is bullshit, and you know it.
Ladies and gentlemen of polite savages, we are now about to embark on a journey sure to anger feminists and mod or women alike. And this time we got to straight up and down tell it like it is. Some of your favorite actors bending over forward and backwards to get it where they live. As always, we're only here to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as we see it. And sometimes the truth is a bitter, bitter pill to swallow. And your favorite stars are grabbing ankles like no tomorrow. So there's nothing left to do but get on up into it. Are you ready? Well, let's go. I don't care how you spin it, Hollywood has absolutely gone off the deep end, trying to push an agenda down your throat, making you accept something that perhaps, just perhaps, you don't accept. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Lightyear. Snoop Dogg got a whole lot of hot water because he did not want to explain to his grandson, who's not even 10 years old, about same-sex relationships. Imagine that.
Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, I didn't come in for this. I just came to watch the damn movie. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of that I don't have an answer for.
You see, you polite savages, society has fallen so far down the rabbit hole of a ridiculousness that people actually criticize this man for saying, hey, my 10-year-old grandson, I don't have answers for him right now. But let's really think about it. Does he really need to be explaining sexuality, explaining same-sex marriages to a 10-year-old? Is this something that we really need to be doing this day and time? Can't you just go to a kid's movie and let a kid be a kid, enjoy a kid's movie without sexual innuendos, without bringing up things that may be odd that they have to ask questions about? This is not a learning, educational experience. This is a damn movie. But everywhere you look, somebody's shoving an agenda straight down your throat.
After Snoop Dogg got backlash for slamming a Pixar movie that featured a lesbian couple, the podcast It's Giving seemingly caved to the pressure and edited out his controversial comments. The 53-year-old rap legend had criticized the animated film Lightyear for showing two female characters who had a baby. In the now censored episode, Snoop had claimed it threw him for a loop and that he's scared to go to the movies, or else he'll be forced to have certain conversations with his grandkids.
But it doesn't just go to the viewing audience. Behind the camera, that casting couch is live in effect. As Mr. Powell said, he was told he would have been a lot further along in his career if he was gay by a gay gentleman who happened to be an exec. Just imagine that. What do you think the message they were trying to deliver to that man? And you notice he's just considered a mid-tier actor. Imagine what he would have went if he would have went there. Damn.
Well, let me tell you this. A guy came to me maybe about 3 years ago. He said, Mr. Powell, you know, I love your work. He said, well, I'm gonna tell you right now, you'd be a lot bigger if you were bisexual. And I said, well, I've gotten as big as I have. But I wanna also be clear. I'm not knocking anyone, actors or producers. But I just think from a humanitarian standpoint, whenever you block someone, I think that's wrong. Whether it's race or gender or because you don't like the way their hair looks, that's just wrong.
Read between the lines. Hollyweird is not just hitting you up with the casting couch. Hollyweird is telling you will not go anywhere without the casting couch. So the actors you see who are breaking through without doing this, these are absolutely monsters, titans, amazing, talented folks. And why do you ever wonder why some of these actors that you look around who ain't got a lot of real talent, who don't do a lot of real skilled work, are making it and making all of this money? Don't you understand? They're down there busting it wide open, legs up in the air, grabbing your ankles, hands on your knees, playing like they Sexy Red in a video 2 years ago. Because some of these people will do anything for the fame, absolutely anything, to see their name up in light. But what's done in the dark can't always stay out of the light.
Whether people understand it or realize it or not, I've said this before, we've all been inappropriately touched in Hollywood. Period. That's what it is. We've all, at some point or another, been inappropriately touched in Hollywood.
Well, the truth is, we have a three-headed dragon of immorality going on here in a Hollyweird system. First, there's a good old-fashioned casting couch, and if you don't get down, you can't get in. And if you don't get in, then you can't win. Maybe you could work yourself up to mid-tier. When you want your career to be a star and be out of here, we all know what you need to do, my dear. The second head on the dragon is the absolute craziness that we have with all of these children being assaulted. These child stars, you've seen the tales from Nickelodeon. You've seen the tales from Orlando Brown. That's So Raven. We've heard all of these stories over and over again, and unfortunately, people still keep turning their kids into the grinder because that money, that silver and gold, is something to behold. And finally, we have us, the consumers, getting this agenda pushed down our throat. Doesn't even make sense in the movies anymore. And then you wonder why Snoop Dogg had to take a pause. But the amazing thing is how many people absolutely thought it was appropriate and it was his job to explain this to a child. Man, this whole world is cooked, you dig?
The lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years, they move down the line, they're like, man, she had a baby with a woman.
Remember, my goal was to get this far in Hollywood and still have a virgin ass and never have sucked a. That was my only goal.
Whatever your preference is, I don't really care, but I don't think you can block people. I think the problem with the casting couch is that if you don't do it, you ain't gonna do the role. I think that's really horrible to put on someone. I know I'm gonna get a lot of feedback out there, but I'm just telling you the truth. Anybody that blocks you from something to try to force you into making a decision because you need money or you want to be famous, I just think that's wrong. I have a term for it, but I can't say it on here. But, it's just not good to me. I've had females come at me sideways as producers, It's a weird business. It's a lot of beautiful people. People get attracted to your look. Some people get attracted because they like dark-skinned guys. Some people like older guys. Some people like guys and girls have hit on me. Some people like you because you're powerful or you give powerful performances. This ain't real, man. This is acting.
I knew that that's the end goal. So if that's the end goal and I'm there when I start, why would I deviate from that?
Right. That speak business. There are people that we know personally that know people. I'm saying out here in the Hollywood realm, the Hollywood guys that I know, I see who they are, and I will admit there is envy because I know I don't fit in around them. I will be the outsider around them.
They don't fit in, they getting fitted in.
Thank you for watching the TIP Network. Follow us on all social media outlets and ask yourself one burning question. Can you handle the tip? Boom, we're out.
We found true happiness.